In 1988, Sugar Ray Leonard was nearing the end of his illustrious career. Despite multiple promises to hang up his gloves, there was unfinished business with an arrogant fighter who needed a lesson in humility. One might think his journey had been enough for a grand exit, but he decided to make an announcement that would send chills down the spine of the boxing world. Welcome. Today's video will take you back to when Ray Leonard faced Donny Lalonde, a fight that has lived in the memories of boxing enthusiasts for decades. We have the privilege of reliving Ray Leonard's iconic fighting style. I hope you're comfortable because our new journey begins here. Referred to as the original Golden Boy even today, Donny Lalonde, a maniac in the ring, stepped up armed with a knockout punch and fists ready to prove. Before his encounter with Ray Leonard, he made sure to let disrespectful words flow towards him. He doesn't know when to quit, he claimed as he elevated himself, positioning himself as the big winner of the contest. Lalonde was confident he would be the fighter to force Leonard to stick to his constant retirement promise. But fate could turn in favor of the veteran and solidify him as one of the best fighters of the 80s by bringing home another belt. November 7th was the agreed-upon date to witness this legendary match. The fight took place in an outdoor stadium with a capacity for almost 15,400 people at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. Despite the smear campaign organized by Lalonde, Leonard remained the favorite at 3.5 to 1. Lalonde had to successfully defend the World Boxing Council's light heavyweight championship for the second time and fight for the vacant inaugural super middleweight title of the World Boxing Council if he didn't want to eat his words. Accompanied by the legendary Richard Steele, both fighters climbed into the ring to seal their fate. The bell rings, and the first round of the highly anticipated fight between Sugar Ray Leonard and Donny Lalonde begins. The air is charged with anticipation as the two fighters size each other up, their eyes locked in a fierce gaze. Lalonde, the cocky newcomer, is all arrogance and bravado, fists clenched and ready. Leonard, the seasoned veteran, is calm and composed, his experience evident in his steady gaze. As the round progresses, it's clear this is no ordinary fight. Every punch thrown, every dodge and weave, is a testament to the skill and determination of these two warriors. Lalonde, with his wild rights, tries to capitalize on a stunned Leonard. But Leonard, ever the professional, rises to the challenge. He dodges Lalonde's attacks, his movements fluid and precise. The crowd watches in awe as Leonard and Lalonde exchange blows, their punches echoing throughout the stadium. The tension is palpable, the excitement contagious. Who will land the first significant blow? Who will take control of the fight? By the end of the round, it's clear this is just the beginning. The battle between Leonard and Lalonde is far from over. And as the fighters return to their corners, one thing is certain, this is a fight that will be remembered for years. As we move into the second round of this electrifying fight between Sugar Ray Leonard and Donny Lalonde, the tension in the air is palpable. The fighters, having assessed each other's strengths and weaknesses in the first round, now move with a renewed sense of purpose and strategy. Leonard, the seasoned veteran, moves with the grace of a dancer, his footwork impeccable. He weaves and bobs, his eyes never leaving Lalonde. His fists, raised, are ready to strike at any moment. On the other hand, Lalonde, the brash newcomer, is pure brute force and aggression. He charges at Leonard, throwing wild punches with a ferocity that speaks volumes of his determination. His right hook swings with a force that could knock out an ox, but Leonard, with his superior agility, manages to dodge them with ease. The crowd watches with bated breath as Leonard and Lalonde exchange blows. Leonard lands a quick jab to Lalonde's abdomen, followed by a swift 1-2 to the face. Lalonde counters with a powerful uppercut, but Leonard skillfully ducks under the blow. As the round progresses, it becomes clear this is not just a physical battle, but a mental one as well. Each fighter is trying to outdo the other, to find that one opening that could turn the tide of the fight in their favor. When the bell rings signaling the end of the round, both fighters return to their corners, their faces a mask of determination and resolve. The third round begins, and the fighters return to the center of the ring. Leonard, light on his feet, moves with the rhythm of a boxer, his eyes focused on Lalonde. Lalonde, on the other hand, is all power and determination, his stance wide and ready for action. Leonard starts the round with a quick jab, testing Lalonde's defense. Lalonde responds with a right cross, but Leonard skillfully dodges it, his movements smooth and precise. The crowd watches in silence, the tension palpable. As the round progresses, Leonard begins to find his rhythm. He lands a series of quick jabs, followed by a powerful right hook. Lalonde stumbles backward, but quickly regains his balance and counters with a series of punches of his own. Despite Lalonde's aggressive attacks, Leonard remains calm and composed. He skillfully dodges Lalonde's punches, his footwork impeccable. Then, with a quick move, he lands a powerful uppercut, causing Lalonde to stagger backward. But Lalonde is not done yet. He charges at Leonard, throwing a flurry of punches. But Leonard, with his superior speed and agility, manages to dodge most of them. He then counters with a powerful right hook, followed by a left jab. When the bell rings, signaling the end of the round, both fighters return to their corners. Both are breathing heavily, the physical toll of the fight evident. But their eyes are still focused, their determination unwavering. Stay tuned for the next round, folks. The best is yet to come. The fourth round begins with both fighters returning to the center of the ring. Leonard, showing signs of fatigue but still determined, circles Lalonde, looking for an opening. Lalonde, on the other hand, is eager to press his advantage, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. Lalonde starts the round aggressively, throwing a series of powerful punches. Leonard, however, uses his superior footwork to evade most of them. He counters with a quick jab, followed by a right cross, but Lalonde manages to block them with his gloves. The crowd watches with anticipation as the two fighters exchange blows. Lalonde, using his height and reach advantage, lands a powerful right cross that sends Leonard to the canvas. The crowd gasps as Leonard hits the floor, but he quickly gets up, shaking off the impact. Despite the knockdown, Leonard does not back down. He counters with a series of quick jabs, followed by a powerful uppercut that catches Lalonde off guard. Lalonde stumbles backward but quickly regains his balance and returns to the offensive. As the round progresses, it becomes a battle of endurance. Both fighters show signs of fatigue, their movements slowing and their punches less precise. But they continue to exchange blows, neither willing to give an inch. The bell rings, signaling the end of the round. Both fighters return to their corners, their faces showing the wear and tear of the intense round. The fifth round begins, and Alan's ego continues to grow, making him even more dangerous. Both fighters had abandoned the fight at a distance, and Lance's taunts had taken effect. Now Leonard had come out ready for war. During the last minute of the round, one of the most intense moments of the fight was probably experienced. In the sixth round, Leonard was losing most of the rounds on the judges' scorecards, but his explosion of sadism and violence in the previous one had made him secure at least one. Inside him, he knew this was the path he had to follow if he wanted to make a comeback, and so he did. The combinations to Lance's body and head were not long in coming. Now it was the champion who hesitated to approach and initiate an exchange. For the first time since the fight began, he felt his title could fall from the ring that night without him. In the seventh round, after the bell sounded, Lalonde furiously threw his fists at Leonard. It seemed that the sports rivalry had escalated to a personal one. Both wanted to prove to their opponent what they were made of. But when Leonard began to counterattack, the cocky champion had no choice but to slow down his offensive. Lalonde tried to mock Leonard by stretching out his left hand and yawning over his forehead, but he quickly received a punishment worthy of his audacity. Hard punches landed on his head and body, shaking him until he was against the ropes. He showed the jester that the height difference meant nothing by executing a burst of sadistic punches from which Lalonde could only escape by being saved by the bell. In the eighth round, everything seemed to start falling into place in favor of Leonard at the start of the eighth episode. Now it was he who broke the ice with the firmness of his fists. His skill forced Lalonde to absorb the hard punches he dropped on his body. The champion of the first rounds had disappeared, and only glimpses of him remained in counterattacks where he failed to make great advances. Leonard had secured another round on the judges' scorecard, but even he couldn't see what would happen around the corner. In the 9th round, Leonard's left seemed to have a direct line to Lalonde's chin. The champion started the round with low guard, but seemed not to notice it. Lalonde looked for a weak point to sneak his sloppy punches, but it was taking too long while doing it. Leonard already knew where to direct his attacks. Lalonde executed a flurry of weak punches that his challenger could easily absorb. After letting him have some fun for a moment, Leonard made sure to make it clear to the talkative champion that he was the one setting the pace of the fight. Against the ropes, he showed him what a powerful burst of punches was. Lalonde tried to escape it by throwing himself at Leonard's body, but even then, he neglected his guard. Stepping back, Leonard delivered the coup de grace in the form of a lethal left hook that sent him straight to the canvas. With Richard Steele moving him away from the body that was already inert, Lalonde used the last of his strength to stand up. After the fight resumed, it took only seconds for Leonard's new punch to make him fall even more resoundingly. Lalonde tried to get up, but his body did not respond. Dying, he needed immediate assistance. In the other corner, Leonard celebrated having secured a place in the golden history of boxing. After his victory, Leonard became the second fighter in history to win world championships in 5 weight divisions. Just 3 days earlier, Thomas Hearns stole his chance to be the first to achieve such a feat with his victory over James Kitchen, winning the inaugural super middleweight championship of the World Boxing Organization. And so, this epic encounter concludes, leaving us with an invaluable lesson. Talking too much will never be an advantage point, especially when facing someone of such high caliber and professionalism as Sugar Ray Leonard. Arrogant and disrespectful words can end up turning against you, as happened to Lalonde. In the ring, it's not the words that count but the skill, strategy, and respect for the opponent. This fight reminds us that in boxing, as in life, humility and hard work always triumph over arrogance and boasting. What lesson do you think this boxing match leaves us? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell. This way, you'll stay up to date with more exciting content and won't miss any details of the most epic fights in boxing history. See you in the next video.